Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Hey friends, hope you're doing well as you settle into this new podcast episode. My guest today is Candace Smith, and she is a trainer who is living a really neat life right now. She and her husband are RVing, like RV life. It's pretty neat. But I wanted to have Candace on the podcast because you guys know that, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Well, you're learning that I love health and fitness. And it has been a passion of mine, almost, I can say 30 years now, which is crazy to say. And I discovered the weight room in my mid-20s, and it really set me on a course for growing my self-confidence, for challenging myself with new things. And whenever I face a challenge, I think back to what does it take to walk into something new, like a gym, know where you want to go, not really know how you're going to get there, have a vision for yourself, and make it happen. And that is what the gym has taught me. So I parallel a lot of the stuff going on in my life now, 30 years later, where I learned so many of those things in the gym. So, and I get asked a lot about lifting weights. Why do we lift weights? Why is it important for women to lift weights, guys too? And I used to be a trainer, and many years ago, I would talk about this a lot and I would train people. But as I have moved into the world of therapy, I have lost a lot of that wisdom and knowledge. I just know how to find it. And so when I went looking for somebody to come onto the podcast and talk about fitness and health for busy people, because let's face it, we are busy. We therapists are busy and we sit a lot. I sit so darn much, and it's just, I can't take it. I really can't take sitting so much. It drives me bananas. I'm always up and walking around the building as often as I can. My colleagues probably laugh at me, but I wanted to bring somebody onto the show that, that's her specialty, is helping women and men get into fitness. And when I say get into fitness, I'm really talking about lifting weights, because I think that lifting weights I think it's kind of one of the fountains of youth. So many benefits for lifting weights. So many amazing things happen for our bodies, for our mindsets. And, it's never too late to start lifting weights. You can make gains, or you can make progress in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and your 50s. I'm 48 and I still see progress. I still get gains when I go to the gym. So, all right, y'all know I love to lift weights. So we're going to jump into this interview with Candace. She's going to give us the benefits. She's going to talk about how to get started and why we busy people really need to incorporate strength training or resistance training into our lives. All right, you guys, we really hope you enjoy this episode and find value. Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and this week's guest is Candace Smith. Welcome to the show, Candace.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Will you tell our audience who you are, what you do, and how you help?
All right. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm Candace Smith. I am a strength and nutrition coach. My market and people that I help women get stronger through lifting weights. I love to get women lifting and putting a barbell in their hair, dumbbells. And I help a lot of women recover from constant yo-yo dieting. So that is what I do. My passion is helping women just get stronger in their bodies, mentally and physically, because it's something with weight training that translates and carries over into your life in all areas, your work, your family. When you just feel good in mind and body, you just show up different. You show up stronger, you show up confident, you show up empowered, and just love it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And that has been the case in my life. And I kind of have a theory on that. What's your theory on how that all works?
Which part?
Like when we go in the gym and we pick up something heavy, it crosses over into other areas of our lives. Like, what's your theory? Do you have a theory behind that? Like why that translates so well?
I think you just feel like the feeling you get from lifting, like the endorphins or your mental kind of changes. Like if I can pick up this weight and I can press it or I can squat it, it carry over to feeling good, I think, in things in life, like not even things that's physically in life. I just think you just feel, it's a feeling. You just feel stronger. I don't really know if I'm explaining that well, but it just, you kind of like you show up your mood. You're more like, I think more positive, more optimistic, more, I think you just feel more confident from being able to do things that are more challenging. Because if I could do this over here, I can do these things in life, I guess.
Yes, that is my theory.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just was curious if it's like, because I've only really shared that with a handful of people. So I love connecting with other women who get it, and I know that for folks listening today, picking up weights, and that might seem kind of strange, maybe they're used to like, well, I do take care of myself. I do exercise. I go on my walks. I get my 10,000 steps in. I eat a healthy diet. I do my yoga. I get my sleep. I drink my water. And those are all wonderful things, but there is something about picking up weight and pushing yourself that will boost your confidence. And then that will translate into other areas of your life. And you start to walk. I'm convinced you walk differently.
Yes.
You talk differently, you show up differently, you treat and there's something too about when we work on ourselves physically like that. I'm a nicer person. I have more empathy for other women. I have more, it's just this, I don't know how to explain it. So I'm really glad you're here. I'm so excited that we can talk about this because I have a lot of therapist friends out there who have reached out and asked me about, okay, well, I want to start. Like, I get, at least you talk a lot about lifting weights, or, I've chatted with you. And people always ask me like, well, where do I start? And it's overwhelming for me because I'm not a trainer anymore. And I don't really I say, well, find a good trainer at your gym and just start there.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like this general advice. And I hate to say that. And I have programs that I could recommend, but a lot of the times that's like, tell me about your history. Tell me about your injury. Because I don't want to just recommend anything blindly, because I really care about these women that are coming to me and they're trusting me to ask me. So let's talk about getting started. If you're busy therapist out there, or anybody's busy, and you get it, you want to start lifting weights. The benefits of lifting weights, we understand, are incredible.
Yeah.
How do you get people started who want to get into it, but they're busy? Like, they're just busy.
First, if you're are we talking completely newbies or people that have lifted before but kind of fell off? What do you say?
See, and here, that's a dilemma right there. Like, where do we go with it? But let's talk about let's really focus on the person who is new to it, knows it's important, wants to start adding it into their lives. Where do they go? How do they get moving? When I say busy, I know we all have a different definition of what busy looks like, but we're talking to the therapist that's working 5 to 6 hours a day doing therapy. And outside of that, they've probably got a family and they do prioritize their health. They get it. How do they start adding in some resistance training?
Yeah. Okay. Well, your advice with if going to a gym does work, it would be first find somebody that you can learn from. Whether that is in the gym, online coach as like me, myself, or whoever you resonate with out there in the internet world. There's so many fitness professionals, but I'm going to advise you to look my way first.
Yeah.
So it's simply, it really is getting started. One is with the trainer, like I said. Two is look at your time, I believe, and see how you can fit a 30-minute to 40-minute workout in. I think a lot of times it's the mindset switch that we say, I don't have time, but I guarantee you have time. And it doesn't have to be an hour, 2 hour, 2.5 hour workout. It can start, like I said, 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to start there. And then we're going to get you into working out with that way consistently 2 to 3 times a week. So it's, again, changing your mindset that I got to be working out 6 times a week with weights. Beginner, if you complete starting at a beginner, 2 to 3 times a week is great. All body type workout where you're hitting all the major muscle groups with compound lifts. And compound lifts are things like squats, push-ups, lunges, deadlift variation that you would include in that workout. And I would recommend that a person do those workouts, all body workout, every other day, 2 to 3 times a week. So
Awesome.
that's kind of like where you would start. One,
Yeah.
start with the mindset, switching your mindset around about what a workout should look like and stop shooting on yourself. Because if you will be more successful going in 2 to 3 times a week versus saying, I'm going to do 5 times a week,
Right.
starting out the gate. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I love that advice. And that's exactly how I got started 20 some years ago, was just go and lift and do these movements and do it 2 to 3 times a week and just do it. Don't think about it too much. Just follow the plan and follow the plan. So let's talk a little bit about, and I'm not downing on the Peloton. I'm not downing on the elliptical.
Right.
I don't want people to think that. There is a time and a place for those types of exercises.
Absolutely.
But I hear a lot of people say, well, let me get my cardio. Let me lose some body fat first. Let me lose some weight first. And then I'll go lift some weights. And I'm just like, oh, no. Like, no. How do you explain that to people? Because I'm sure you hear that too.
Yes, I hear that a lot. Yes, I'm glad you referenced. We're not downing the cardio type things, Peloton, elliptical, all that. So just to reiterate that, let me back you up.
Thank you.
But lifting changes the body in more ways than one. That is the difference. Cardio does help with your cardiovascular, your heart, but so does lifting. Byproduct, ladies that out here listening, or even males, by proxy, if you have more muscle and generate more muscle, gain more muscle tissue, you're going to be burning fat more readily than the cardio type activity. So you'll have less body fat on your body and more muscle, whereas we get cardio mixed up with the nutrition. Your nutrition is your driver for fat loss. See, when we do too much cardio and we're trying to lose weight, but most of the time, most people lose their precious muscle because they're under eating and they're doing a lot of Peloton rides or lots of ellipticals or lots of mileage. And then so you compound that with the little eating as you cut your diet too fast, too drastically. You add in more cardio, you see in these progress, but then it slow down. So you add more or you subtract food. And it's just a recipe for disaster, for your metabolic rate, for your muscle, and so forth. So your priority, if you're wanting to shape and change your body, lifting is your first. Cardio is like the side dish. Lifting is your entree. And nutrition is the driver of what the body does with the calories. You can create a calorie deficit, your energy balance, the food that you bring in that way.
Right.
So I know I probably answered that in a big way, but I think I explained it well. What you think, Lisa?
Oh yeah, that was perfect. I mean, everything you said, I'm just nodding. If y'all could see the video right now, I'm just like nodding my head and just like, I'm going to give the amen hands because Candace is like, I get it, and you do such a good job of explaining it because you're putting it, this is what you do. This is your job. This is who you are and how you help people. Can you give us some examples of maybe folks that you've worked with that were like in this place of, I'm really busy. I want to change. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing in the mirror. I'm not feeling good. I know there's more in me. I'd like to feel more vibrant. I'd like to have better health. Like, can you give us just a few examples of like what you've seen?
So when you come into me, I'm going to look at everything, your lifestyle, how you're moving, your actual fitness, if you're training with weights or not, and evaluate that and then come up with a plan. So like, most trainers out there, you might hand you a diet, hand you a meal plan. That's not how I roll. I want to know what you're doing well, so we can build on that too. I mean, you come to me, like I said, I'm going to look at your nutrition. I want to take a week or two before we change anything. I want to see what you're doing. Then we're going to, then I recommend this is how we should approach your nutrition or approach your nutrition plan. Let's add let's get you training, like the busy professional. Let's set you up for your 30-minute or a 40-minute workout with weights. Are you walking? Some people, doesn't understand the power of how important walking is. Let's get you started walking. I won't throw you into hitting a typical 10K a day, but I would say, let's see where you're at. Can we add a little bit more to that? So I like to meet people where they're at start small, because small changes add up to big results. We don't have to, usually people come in and they want to change everything at all once, at once. And it's like, well, you probably won't be able to stick with that. So let's set up small so that you can have some wins under your belt, kind of like show yourself that you can do these things before we change everything. You're used to that. You're used to cutting your calories drastically. You're used to saying, I'm going to work out 7 days a week. And then you don't actually end up doing it. And that's where you're like, this stuff doesn't work. But if we start small, it's going to work.
Yeah.
You have to just stick with the program, be consistent, and keep showing up for yourself daily with these small things, which are going to add up to your results and being able to stick to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think you're right. Like when somebody wants a plan and they want to jump into it right away, they really want their results like 3 weeks ago. They're kind of at that point where they're like, I know I'm ready now. And so how quickly can I get my results? How quickly do you think I'll get my results? And to me, I understand that question because I want to know the answer to that too. But I think after so many years of doing this, it's like, it takes time. It takes time. And you have to learn patience and you have to learn consistency because you're not always going to be motivated. Nope. And you're going to have to just learn. And people don't like the D word, discipline, but you really do have to learn to discipline yourself to get to where you want to be. And I tell, and this is just kind of like an aside, but my therapist friends will get it. Like, you want to be an amazing therapist. You want to learn all the things. You want to be incredible. You want to help all these people. You got to learn the skills. You got to get into a groove. You have to learn what works. You have to test things. You have to evaluate. You have to, trial and error. It's the same thing when it comes to changing your physique or adding muscle, but it's such a fun and exciting process that once you start down the path, when people don't stick with it, it's usually because they feel like they're not getting results fast enough. Sometimes they feel like, when really that's usually the case. They feel like, and I'm like, it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 to 12 weeks for you to see the change, a little bit of change even.
Yeah.
So it takes time. And most of us don't want to wait it out. That's a mindset, I guess.
It's a mindset, and that's what things are so fast. It's what we know, America, quick, fast results. I want it now. Everything is quick and now, but really, realistically, we have to be rational. I think a lot of people are irrational because they think, and it's the fitness and dieting industry in a whole too. They see these before and afters. I tell my clients to side eye those, because if they lost weight rapidly, that's where the after picture is.
Right.
Were they able to maintain that for 4 years, 5 years? Or was that just 12 weeks? Right. I guarantee you they're going to gain everything back that they lost.
Oh yeah. And
then they didn't really establish consistent habits. They just followed a plan, and it didn't teach them anything about themselves. They didn't learn how to automate their eating, how to do their own, portion sizes and things like that. It was just, here, do this 12 weeks and you're going to lose 30 pounds, which isn't most likely sustainable for most.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you and hear you. Hey friend, want to be more comfortable while sitting on the therapy couch? I sure did, and went looking for pants and tops that were soft, wrinkle resistant, and would match just about anything I already had in my closet. And now Zaya Active makes up about 80% of my wardrobe. Would you like to learn more? Head over to my site, lisamustard.com, and click on the Activewear tab. And don't think this is just for women. They have men's and kids' clothes too. And our family is loving the quality, and I am loving the price tags. So head over to my site to check it all out. Have you always been into weightlifting? Like, is that just something you grew up with, or how did you discover it?
Actually, I was not an athlete. I played basketball for a little bit, but I was not good at it. I was pushed into it. In high school. Wasn't until college I started running. Went down the wrong way at first with diets and removing whole food groups, and became a vegetarian, didn't know how to do it, things like that. I picked for a few years, and I picked up weights a little bit, I guess, in the early 2000s. I've been lifting for overall almost 20 years now, but I started with running. And then I picked up weight training, and that's when I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it through a free membership to a powerhouse gym. And that was it for me. I think that was like 2002 or something, 2003. And ever since then, I just have loved it. I went through phases, like I said, of doing stupid diets and doing it the wrong way. And then I fell in love with it. And here we are. Started coaching women and men. At first I had both. I was doing both, but now I mostly serve women. And that was like 2009. I started working on the gym floor and helping women get strong with weights.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us more about where you are right now, and you're in an RV. How does that all play into your world? I'm so curious.
So my business is, and how I serve people is through online coaching. I do virtual personal training. I also do one-on-one programs where it's more customized with nutrition and fitness. And then I do like training sessions as well, across Zoom or FaceTime or whatever, coaching people through their workouts. Just like if I was on the gym floor, but we're on different places in the world. I'm in Wyoming right now. So that's how I work with people. I also have a membership, a like monthly strength training membership where you get a new training block every month, every 4 weeks. So that's kind of how I do that. And for my fitness, my own fitness, I either train in, not necessarily in, well, if it's raining and I want to get a quick workout in, I'll bring my dumbbells in and I'll train in the RV. We look for gyms in the area, see what kind of passes they have, how much it costs, and then we'll work out in the gym if that's available to us, depending on our location. Like we're in the boonies right now. So the closest gym is 30 minutes away. And like today we'll go to the gym because we're going to do laundry. So we typically, when we're out of area, kind of in the boonies, we'll go maybe 2 or 3 times a week, or otherwise I'll do it at the RV.
That's so neat.
So that's how I kind of keep up with my fitness as we travel. I am a big proponent of teaching people to pivot. I love the gym, absolutely love it, but I know how to train at home with the equipment that I have. Make do. I think we get a lot of times people get caught up with the perfectionist thing again. Kind of like I need it now. This I can only get a good workout in the gym. But what if your lifestyle changed? What if life happens? What are you going to do? Just not work out? Well, if that's the choice you want to make, then you make that. But I think that you can adapt your workout in the meantime so you can get back to your normalcy, if you will.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think 2020 really showed me that I had to get creative because my kids were doing school from home. I was working from home. I didn't go to the gym. We were kind of in this, like, for a while we were in lockdown. And then even because I'm in South Carolina, when we did open up, I just was like, I've been working out at home. I'm getting my workouts at home. I'm getting them done faster because I don't have the people at the gym talking.
Yeah.
And I can like move faster because that guy over there is hogging up that equipment. And I just, I can move through it faster. So I really fell in love with working out at home. And I'm curious, like, what's the heaviest dumbbell you have in your RV?
We have up to 35s. We have a set of 10s, 15, 20, and then 35. Yeah. And then we invested at the end with COVID, when we were in the first lockdown time, I ended up getting a barbell and a couple sets of plates. So I do have 2 sets, one set of 45s and one set of 25s. Okay. So I would make do with that. I have a TRX too, and we have some kettlebells. Cool. So I would just, use what I could, add different stimuli, like different tempo for the exercises, do more reps, pauses, different things like that to make that weight more challenging.
Yeah, that's cool.
At home.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I've been experiencing too. So I love that what Candace is saying is just go get yourself a pair of 5 pounds, 10 pounds, maybe 12, 15, and start working out at home with good guidance. You don't have to go get the gym membership. And I'm not trying to discourage people from going to the gym, but I love how you said perfectionism. Because I used to be of the mindset, like, if I didn't go to the gym, it wasn't a workout. Like, and that's crazy because I would at halftime get sidetracked by talking to people at the gym. And I know I wasn't making the most use out of my time. So I love how you said that. It's intention. It's challenging yourself. It doesn't have to be in the gym. okay, back up. Are you guys like, do you live full time in the RV?
We do. We do. We have no house. We sold our house. It's been 4 years since we've been on the road, and we went all in. Our rest of the stuff that we kept is in
Mhm.
storage that we wanted to keep during the process. So it was a lot of purging, which was
Yeah.
great. But yeah, we're full time on the road. So I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years, and teaching that, yeah, gym is great and all, but if you can't go, you can get it in at home. You will outgrow your weight. So
Mhm.
eventually, if you can't get back to the gym eventually, but getting started, if you like, we're
Mhm.
talking more to the person that's getting started, you either get ready to make your gym at home, or eventually you're going to have to buy some weights at home to add to your home, to your
Yeah.
home, because you will outgrow your 12s. If you're starting out your 15s, you'll want a little bit more heavier weights so you can continue to grow, because your body will
Yep.
adapt to your weights. So that's where I'm coming from with adding more weights to your at home if you get started at
Yeah.
home.
That's
So
cool. I think I'm at that point. I need some
yeah.
30s. I told my husband the other day I need to get some 30-pound dumbbells. I'm at that point. I'm like, okay, I gotta just
Yeah.
invest in it. I keep putting it off. I don't know why, but that'll be
Hmm.
my thing for by myself. When my
Yeah,
back to school
nice.
girls go back to school, it'll be my present to myself, I think.
Yeah.
So where can folks learn more about you and learn more about your programs?
Okay. Well, Beauty of Strength on Instagram is where you'll find me the most. Of course, I have Facebook. Facebook pages are just so quiet
Yeah.
these days. But it's Beauty of Strength, beauty underscore of strength. And I think you'll
Yeah.
probably pop all this in the
I
show
will.
notes. But I'm over there on Instagram under Beauty of Strength. I also have, if you're interested in any of my travel, I do vlog our travel
Oh,
escapades, if
cool.
you want to call it that. Yeah. So we vlog that. We also have that. Tripping with the Smiths is where I do, me and my husband hold down our travel vlog for that. And of course,
Uh,
YouTube. My website is CandaceRSmith.com, and then you can find all my services there or on
oh,
Instagram. It's kind of crossover between the two. So like I said, I do have a few programs. I do one-on-one, and that's customized, personalized to exactly what you need. Like when we talked a little bit earlier, when a person comes to me, how we go through the process of just starting where you are, looking at what you're already doing, and so forth. So it'll be strictly to you. I do have a membership, and that is just a training program with the strength training fundamentals. It does fit for home and gym options in that programming. Also, 2 subscriptions, full coaching with me in a group setting, or just DIY where you get the program and you run with it, go in the gym and get stronger. The program is designed to help you increase your strength and build muscle and follow the structured training program. Because I see a lot of people jumping around from program to program, and something I could have mentioned earlier, but
mhm.
I see a lot of that happening with folks. And then this is one of the reasons why they give up or they don't
Yeah.
see, because they pull their workouts right off of Instagram
Mm.
with nothing you don't know if those are done well or not. You just see their favorite fit person doing a random workout, and this is why you don't see results and you end up giving up. But
Yeah.
that's a long story.
Yeah. No, but
But
I mean, I've been, guilty of doing that in the past. It was just like I used to
mhm,
follow for certain people on Instagram and I would do that. Like, and
yeah,
I remember one day, I was it was a kettlebell workout, which I love kettlebells. And I was getting frustrated because like, how come my body doesn't look like hers? Like she's doing the, he was like, Lisa, she's like lifting weight. Like, how come, like, what is wrong with you? She's doing more. And I was like, no, I know you're right. But it was like the belief that I had that what I was seeing was
yep,
the truth. And I know he's right. She was creating these kettlebell workouts. And I do believe you can get stronger with kettlebells, but she hadn't
yes,
grown those muscles by doing just
through that,
kettlebells. So that was kind of like a wake up call for me. Like, why am I believing, but
hmm,
we all do it. We all do it because
yeah,
we're human and that's how we're
yep,
wired. So I'm so grateful to have Candace on the show to tell us what it really is all about. Because really what it comes down to is, and a lot of people say, Lisa, I want to have a different physique. I want the muscles. And I'm like, you have to build your muscles to get that physique. So what
yes,
Candace is really saying is you're going to build your muscles, you're going to get stronger, and you will have the shape that you desire. It will come,
hmm,
but that's what this is all about. It starts there. It's not the Peloton. It's not your
yeah,
150th Peloton ride, which I'm super proud of you. Good job. Like, get that cardio, friend. Get that 150th Peloton ride. But if your body's not changing after all that Pelotoning or all that ellipticaling, you're still not seeing the results. You're not growing muscle is what it comes down to. So I had to just get into my soapbox. Like, I just want to like shout it from the mountaintops. Like,
yes. Yeah. Same daily. It's ongoing. Yeah. It's getting better. Yeah. It's getting better. But if ladies, men, whoever, if you're not seeing it and you don't have a strength training program or regimen going, the cardio is not just going to make you a smaller version of yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Candace, thank you so much for coming on. This has just been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.